Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview, Wednesday, June 24th, 2015, hump day in our trading week, middle of our trading week. Lots of trading to do today. The day is just beginning. We're doing this in the Asia session. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, please come and visit our site at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, let me introduce myself too. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series, which is brought to you every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006. In 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a fire rescue person out of the great state of Florida. Traders, came for a 3-month holiday to Thailand. Well, guess what? It's 2015. I'm still here. I guess I'm still on vacation, but I'm trading Forex every day. I'm looking at markets. I'm listening to fundamentals. And I'm looking for opportunities and probabilities to be on my side to win my trades. And yes, traders, I do lose trades. I do not win all my trades. Somebody tells you they win all their trades, they are lying. It's impossible. You just can't do it, especially in today's sentiment of the market. All right, that's just a little bit about myself, but I'm a very active trader. Let's head over to the risk disclaimer. This is legal stuff. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Most of all, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. That's the legal stuff. Let's head over to news and commentary. Let's take a look at the indices. US 30 closed up 0.13%. The S&P 500 closed up barely 0.06%, and the Nasdaq closed up 0.12%, with the Russell 2000 closing up 0.29%. Let's take a one over to the Eurozone, and the DAX closed up 0.72%, the FTSE 100 closed up 0.13%, and the CAC 40 closed up 1.18%, with the Eurostoxx 50 closing at 0.83% in the green. Traders, let's come on over to Asia, and remember that these countries are currently trading. The Nikkei 225 yesterday hit a high since the year 2000. So the Nikkei is currently trading and it's up at 0.53%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is up 0.25%. And the Shanghai is up 1.30% in the green. And the Hang Seng also in the green at 0.12%. And our Kospi is in the red barely at 0.10%. That's what's going on our indices, and that's what happens at the New York close and pairs that are currently trading. Let's take a look at our news data today. We had some high impact data come out earlier today. The monetary policy meeting minutes came out of the yen at early today. I didn't see any move in the markets on the yen pairs. However, today we only have three pieces of data that's high impact. One is an hour into our, 2 hours into our London session. We have German IFO Business Climate Report, and we also have all day today's Eurogroup meetings. And then in the U.S. session, we have high impact. We have final GDP quarter on quarter. And that is it for today on a Wednesday as far as our calendar goes. All right, traders, commentary for today was that it looks like a lot of our currency pairs have retraced yesterday, basically breaking our trend. So we're hoping today they're going to come back into the trend, and you'll be able to see that clearly as we review the charts. Made some changes to my charts. I hope you like them. We've actually went to a black chart now, and we have support and resistance lines on the chart. And yesterday, a trader in my live trading room decided that he shared with me his pivot point indicator, which I really like because it doesn't go all the way across the chart. So it's quite nice. So let's get started. Let's take a look at some 60-minute Forex charts. For the new traders, that means every candle on the chart is 1 hour. All right, so we'll take a look at the euro-dollar. The euro-dollar remains to be bearish. It's currently below support, and it's also below the 200 exponential moving average at 1.1279 and continues to drop. we want to see a nice we want to see a nice pullback to 1.1200, and that will be the 50% Fibonacci level, and then we could take this down back down to 1140. So, we got like a 50 pip, 55 pip trade here, but, we just need to stay with the trend. I've been saying it all along. The euro is bearish. We get our up days, we get our up weeks, whatever, but the euro is bearish. So we want to remain and keeping that in mind that it is bearish. So we just want to sell it. So you're saying to me, well, what happens if it goes below 1140? What are we going to do? Well, if it goes below 1140, the nice thing about the euro is it's really good about giving you 2 and 3 chances to get into the trade. Wait for it to give you a confirmation pullback to test that price and then take it to the downside. So either way, you can get into the trade. But I'd rather get the pullback to the really like 1190 area, and we'll take this to the downside. Let's take a look at the pound. The pound is bullish. However, we had a down day yesterday, and it's starting to creep its way up. You can see it bounced off the 200 exponential moving average at 1.5714. I wouldn't take a buy trade at this price level. I would wait for it to clear that daily pivot point, and we're looking at 57.77. And if it gets above that, you know what? I will buy this. But this looks like this is on the way back up, and it's going to continue the trend. And we want to take profit at previous resistance, which is at, what's that? Gosh. 58.25, somewhere about there, and 58.40, somewhere in there. We just want to take this to the upside. And that's that first bright yellow line, which is now resistance, which was previous support. And I talked about this yesterday, that there was a good possibility that this was not going to break that because of all the times it's attempted to and didn't, and just dropped. Not only did it drop, the pound did something that it usually does not do, and that is it gave us a second shot. So if you missed the first entry, it gave you 3 hours, 4 hours to think about, well, you know what, on the next red candle, I'll take it short. And it did a nice job all the way back to the 200 exponential moving average, and now on our way back to the upside. So it's resumed its trend to the upside. Let's see if we can get a nice entry and get some pips out of this baby. Looks good. All right, this is the Aussie. The Aussie is a little tricky today. I don't like the Aussie. I don't like the daily chart. I don't like this chart. The Aussie is bearish. We understand that. But I'm not liking this because we've got a 200 exponential moving average because price is now above it. And I put this trend line in here. So if it breaks the trend line, we can sell this at 0.7739. We'll take profit at 0.7678. However, we have a trend line to get through, and then we got the daily pivot point. So we got a lot of junk to get through, before we're pretty safe in this trade. Once we get through the daily pivot point, we're safe to our take profit zone. It's getting to that level that's going to be the complicated part. And this is definitely a London open trade. If not more, it could be a London lunch trade or 90 minutes into the London session. This is not going to be an easy trade. This is going to be pretty difficult, to be honest with you. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. This pair's daily chart is really ugly. If you want to see an ugly chart, go to the daily. This is in a range on the daily. It's just all over the place. This sold off yesterday. Unfortunately, it actually gave you a blue candle, which, and retested that was now resistance. So this was a nice trade to the downside and just sold its way off and, just came on down. So, the trade plan here is, well, we want to get up to previous resistance. And I put a line on the chart, and basically we want to get to 44.72, and then we can sell it. But we need some kind of a pullback. I'm not going to sell this here. We don't have any, anything to say, let's take this down, because, the minute you hit the sell button, the thing's going to go back up 20 or 30 pips, right? So we need this to pull back, and I couldn't do a fib because I didn't have 2 candles to the right and 2 candles to the left to verify that that was the candle, right? So we just have to look at this and say, all right, well, where was previous support? Well, on the slide, you can't see it, but if you open this chart up, you'll see that where I put the entry, if you look left of the chart, you'll see that is previous support over there, left of the chart. And that's why I picked that area for it to come back up to, because I could not place a fib on this. And I expect it to come back up. We'll see what happens with this. But this is probably most likely a London open trade, if not a London lunch or a New York trade, because this has a lot of pips to come up to get to our entry zone. and I don't know if it's going to do that today. We'll see. Interesting, very interesting. We'll just keep an eye on it. But I'm not jumping into this pair. This pair doesn't amuse me at all, to tell you the truth, because I don't think it's going to pull back. Let's take a look at the Euro-Yen. The Euro-Yen is doing really nicely to the bearish side. We're just looking for this 618 pullback. And no, my fibs are not wrong on the chart. They're a reverse fib because I want the 1618 to be seen. However, the 161.8 is way down there, and I couldn't get it in the slide. And we have plenty of pips if this pulls back to the 618 at 138.78. We'll take it at 138.29, 138.30, 31, 32, somewhere in there, and we'll get out of it. So this gives us, this is a nice 50 pip trade here if we can get this pullback. Right now it's in this range, between Asia and London. It's going to be in this range for the next 4 candles. So we'll just let it be, but we want this to pull back to the 138.78, and we'll take the short trade. We want to sell the Euro-Yen. Absolutely want to sell the Euro-Yen. The 200 exponential moving average, which is at 139.21, is no issue with this trade. Traders, let's move over to the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar did a pullback on us yesterday, basically a retrace. We know that Forex does not move in a straight line, and it pulls back. Well, yesterday it did. It actually did, and surprisingly enough, it pulled back to the 50% Fibonacci level. Well, guess what? When I made this, and I do this early in Asia, it's early in the morning in Thailand, and it already had spiked that 50%. Otherwise, that would have been a beautiful entry to get into. If you look left of the chart, you can see that price at that level was hit several times. It couldn't break through it. So that would have been a beautiful entry. So now I'm hoping that this pulls back up there again, gives us a second shot, and then we can sell it. If not, you can just wait for a bearish candlestick formation to take it down. You don't have to take profit at that 68.22. It can go below that, and it might. It just might do that. The only thing you got to be aware of is that the daily pivot point is there. Listen, pivot points are great, but what are pivot points? They're basically support and resistance lines, right? So, I would say pivots work about 70% of the time. So, yes, it's a daily pivot, and yes, everybody sees it. And if you look left of the chart, you can see price action reacted to that price level in the past. However, I think that we can get through this if we need to take the trade above the daily pivot, which I want to do. But I'd love to see this pull back to this 0.6869, and we're going to sell it at 68.22. So nice, again, another nice 50 pip trade here, if it works. But the New Zealand has been absolutely outstanding this week to the downside. It's given us some really nice trading days. All right, traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilder, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me on a hump day, Wednesday, June 24th, 2015. Traders, always remember to trade smart and not hard. Please visit our site at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. And it's a pretty cool site to visit. All right, traders, until next time, have a great trading day, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Take care, traders. Bye-bye.